Welcome back. Chicago leaders are celebrating a report showing a major reduction in violent crime this year, and they want people to know this trend started before the Department of Homeland Security sent agents here. I'm joined by Deputy Mayor Gary Gatewood. Let's talk about the numbers. I'm going to go over these and then I'll have you respond, okay? We'll lay it all out for the viewers. So Axios reports that Chicago led the nation with a 22.1% drop in overall violent crime. This was during the first 9 months of 2025. And that in the first half of 2025, Chicago experienced a 33% reduction in homicides, doubling the nationwide average. Axios says it pulled the numbers from 67 law enforcement agencies. So back now to Deputy Mayor Gatewood. Why do you think these numbers are the way they are? I know when we were talking earlier, you said it's been a lot of hard work on the city's part, and the timing of this downward trend is also important. I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one, thanks again for having me. Been coming on here talking about the decline in crime for a couple of years now, so excited to be back. So this year has been nothing short of remarkable. Historic declines in crime. The work that we've been able to do together across all of our agencies in the city, our community-based organizations, really being thoughtful around where we deploy our police department, where we deploy our community violence interrupters, and also our victim services partners. So we literally work together every single day. I can't tell you the last day that I didn't talk to the chief of patrol in the Chicago Police Department or the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department. I don't remember the last day we didn't talk. So we've been driving this work together pretty consistently. And as you see, our violent crime is trending down faster than anywhere else in the nation. And I know sometimes people talk about other cities and their declines in crime, but Chicago's leading the nation in the decline in violent crime, so we're really excited about that.
Okay, so the Department of Homeland Security says President Trump said yesterday that since agents came to Chicago, violent crime has decreased, that they are attributing the numbers to their success in coming into the city of Chicago. How do you respond to that?
Well, I would laugh, but here's the reality. We've been driving crime down in the city of Chicago all year. This is, again, why we're leading the nation in the decline of violent crime for the last 9 months. You look at April, we had a 60-year low in homicides for the month of April, the lowest month of homicides in a 10-year in any month. So we also had May, June, July, August, all had declines. Operation Midway Blitz started in September, where we still had declines in September, and we had declines in October. So this is the work that we've been doing throughout the entire year, from hiring youth through the mayor's plan to hire 31,000 young folks, employing more community violence interrupters. And again, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the great work of the Chicago Police Department and community members who've stepped up to really help all of us bring safety to our city. So what I can also tell you is deploying tear gas in residential neighborhoods has not driven crime down at all, not in any instance. The work that some of our partners in the federal government do that's not related to immigration enforcement has been helpful, but Operation Midway Blitz didn't help us drive any crime down in our city.
Did you find that less crime, there was less of a significant decrease in crime in those areas where the agents were deployed?
Absolutely. So where they were focused was basically in the 9th district and the 10th district in our city, so Little Village and other neighborhoods where there's a heavy immigrant population. Our declines in crime trend down further in other areas of the city than we did in those spaces. We still have a lot of work to do in those spaces, a lot of trust to build, a lot of communities to help heal after the constant barrage from Homeland Security, but it certainly didn't drive crime down in those areas like we've been able to do across the city all year, year over year. I can tell you a 54-day operation certainly didn't lead to a 60-year low in crime in our city.
Has the administration been in contact at all with the Trump administration? I know previously Mayor Johnson was saying, you know, we couldn't get through to them, or Governor Pritzker was kind of saying the same thing. But have you had more of an open line of communication at all?
Not at all, right? So there's not been open line of communication from the Trump administration to our city, the state, or the county. But the city, the county, and state continue to work together to drive crime down throughout our city. And, you know, sometimes people come in and try to erase your name and write their name on the project when it's time to turn it in. But the reality of it is we've been working to drive crime down together in our city for quite some time.
What do you think is the biggest factor in reducing crime that might be different from the Emanuel or the Lightfoot administration and what their tactics were?
Yeah, I will tell you it is our collaboration across the board. There's not a city agency in the Johnson administration that's not dedicated to focusing on how we drive crime down. The level of support we provide for the Chicago Police Department, our community violence interrupters, we've been able to expand community violence interruption to 2 lead organizations, both Axios and Metropolitan Family Services. So they've been able to flood the city with more people to help support drive violence down. And again, it's just this continued collaboration across the entire board.
What do you tell people out there in the city who still feel unsafe with the crime that they're seeing in their communities?
Yeah, so look, there's a lot of work still to be done. While we can celebrate the decline in crime, we know that we still have victims of crime. We still have people who are suffering from crime. So it's our responsibility to work together to continue to drive crime down.
All right. Deputy Mayor Gatewood, thank you for your time this morning.
You.
We appreciate you coming in.